Begin with an issue about the welfare of citizens. Like a lone voice in the wilderness, the senator representing Borno South, Ndume, has continued to raise concerns about sundry national issues. This time, Senator Ndume is appealing to President Bola Tinubu to reduce the suffering of Nigerians by intervening in the rising cost of food and energy. He also raised the alarm that fifth columnists in cahoots with saboteurs are working hard to destroy the legacy of the Tinubu administration. Meanwhile, the federal government has announced the requirements needed to access the subsidized 50 kilograms of milled rice at 40,000 naira. Now, to obtain the rice, citizens must present documents including the National Identification Number (NIN), an ID card and an ATM card for registration and payment. After completing these steps, beneficiaries will need to clear a separate verification process by government officials before receiving their rice. Now let's bring the conversation home. I'll start with the BKO. BKO, the Borno State Senator, Ndume, he's been speaking a lot lately. And in the area of high cost of food, the fact that many Nigerians are finding it difficult to afford it. What are your thoughts on the things he's raised?
He has raised a very valid points. He's been methodical this time by saying that he knows some people are misleading the president, some people around him, they are the ones pushing this economic agenda that is inflicting pains on our people. He's careful not to ruffle feathers as much as he did the last time, for which he had to apologize to the party. Certainly, I align with his message because our people are going through a lot. Whatever the president can do to ease the pains on our people, he has to do it and do it quickly. I agree absolutely on that, and I've also talked about the need to ease the pains on our people here. We cannot pretend not to know that things are really bad. If you are comfortable, you must think of other people who are not comfortable, who go through a lot just to put food on their table. So we must always have them in their thoughts. And I think that Ndume's message is a good one, and I hope that government will find a way to address those concerns, because he wasn't speaking for his people, for himself. He was speaking for the people. And he wants to be on the good side of history as someone who tried to get the government to do his best to ease the pains on our people. And he's saying that we have to fight inflation better, we have to stabilize the economy, that farmers find it difficult to transport produce from their farms to the markets, because of high cost of transportation occasioned by increase in food prices. And he also said the hardship inflicted by these price hikes in the country are unimaginable, and he wants the president to prioritize addressing those issues once he comes back from his vacation. I think that this needs to be done. Even without Ndume saying it, every one of us knows that we need to do something.
Exactly.
If we must tax the rich so that we can make the poor happier, nothing says we cannot do that. There was a certain man, Robin Hood, when I was growing up.
Okay.
They were showing his movies. We were watching his movies, you know. Those were the days before CKN grew a mustache.
He just had to go there.
No.
Must too good.
Yes. Ask him if he didn't even watch black and white
of course,
Robin Hood movies in those days. So Robin Hood robbed the rich and gave the poor. So we have to do our best, tax the rich, make things easier for the poor. That is Ndume's message. I like the way he presented it this time, not
without ruffling feathers.
Yeah, without using fighting words and generally being undisciplined in the way he conveyed this message. Because as a party man and as a senator, you are part of the government.
True.
You can't deceive yourself that you are not part of the government. You know, the executive does not run the government alone. Some policies, some of the are products of the laws that the National Assembly comes up with to make things easier, to facilitate better running of the country. So he is part of the government. He belongs to the ruling party. So he cannot speak like somebody on the outside looking in.
Exactly.
So that
He's
is
already part of it.
that is what I quarrel against. So he's done it now the right way. Good language suggests that he cares for the poor. I care for the poor too. I say that all the time. That look, things must get better. We all feel this pain.
True.
One way or another.
We all do.
If my son, my last born, at the time that he got into secondary school, his school fees was 80,000 naira.
Yeah, I think he said.
Today is more than 400,000.
400, yeah, he said
so. Are you going to tell me that I'm not feeling the pinch? I feel the pinch. You feel the pinch. You feel the pinch. We all go to the market. There is no separate market for people like us. And the middle class does not exist anymore in our country.
Sure.
It's either you are rich or you are poor. So I appreciate him for the extent that he's gone. And at least he has not incited the people. He has spoken for the people, and God bless him.
Again, the senator also said some things. He talked about the people, talked about bad advisors, and he said that they are sabotaging the government. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yes, taking up from where BKO stopped, he was talking about the days when he has not grown beards like me. And we have to take a big bath. We should be talking to people like you, the young ones.
Yes.
I know you met black and white, but not as much as we did today.
I agree.
We used to hit the TV
for you to come on.
And also when we used to use Lucozette, that's a nylon to make it colored.
To deceive ourselves that we are watching color TV.
The days we used to watch TV from the windows of our neighbors. For those of us that were not rich enough. Yes,
but that was what pushed many of our parents to go and buy TV.
Of course. Now.
All those Sanyo TV, those ones with
a cupboard,
put inside and lock it.
You know, so in the days where they used to padlock a telephone and rest of the but those are nostalgic days.
Sure.
Yeah, but for me, Senator Ali Ndume has been so consistent. For me, he's one of the politicians I so much like. He has proven himself to be a voice of the voiceless and the downtrodden to a large extent. Most of colleagues don't do what he does. They always like to be on the safe side of the fence. You can hardly see most of his colleagues coming out to talk on issues like this. All they're interested in is the allowances and the basic thing. Those of them that attend plenary and the rest of them. But Ali Ndume should also feel it the more because if you know where he comes from, he's from Borno State. And when you know consistently the issue of insecurity in Borno State, especially the part of Borno State where he comes from, where we have a high level of IDPs, we have a lot of people displaced from their places. There's a point, I don't know whether he has started going now, maybe VK can confirm that. There were for years, Ali Ndume could not go to his local government in Borno State.
Yeah,
that's
his hometown.
Then he goes to, yes, his hometown.
His hometown.
His hometown.
Yes.
But he goes to Goza.
When you go to
Goza,
Goza,
okay,
but his hometown.
He's from Ambagda.
Ambagda,
Ambagda
okay.
is the village that he comes from.
Okay.
He has not gone there
Yes.
Because of the insecurity.
Yes.
since 2014, but he goes to Goza.
You go to
Goza.
Goza, but he
Stays
cannot go
there,
to his
but
own
he can't
village.
go to his
He
village.
goes, he stays in Borno and go to Goza, but he cannot access his own because of level insecurity. They're now coupled with the level of high cost of it. So he knows what he's talking about. And he has genuinely spoken the minds of many Nigerians. The president should do something about the issue of especially food security. People are no longer talking of, you know, before he used to, oh, governments must give us good roads, governments must give us water, governments must give us good health. Now people are not talking more about the issue of feeding their stomach.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
He talked about the issue of bad advisors.
Yes.
Who are those persons?
You know,
what should the president be doing?
Obasanjo said something during his time. He appointed advisor.
Yes.
You can advise him. It is left on him to
take
his advice. That is Obasanjo. But current government, the fact is that you need to ask yourself whether those that were appointed by the president are telling the president the true situation of things. Most of them wouldn't. Most of them, because of the fear or because of what they get or what not losing their position, will not come out to tell the president the right.
Is it on politics reason or competence reasons?
Both.
Both.
Both. I'm telling you, it's both. Both politics and also competence. There are few people that can walk up to the president and tell him the truth. And the one I want to be first and foremost is the wife of the president. The wife of the president can walk up to the president and say, we'll call him as the mother of the nation, can walk up to the president and say, my husband, darling, even when it's not when everybody's there, you know, when they're in the Oza room, he can walk up to the president and say, President, for goodness sake, things are hard for people. And he knows that. Then, and also, but the fact remains that some of the politicians that are walking around the president are not telling him the truth. They always paint a glorious picture to make believe that everything is well.
Okay.
But as I land on this, who are the people I want to be hearing from now? Minister of Agriculture.
Okay.
Very, very fundamental. Minister of Water Resources.
Okay.
Very, very fundamental. Just leave that of finance and the rest of them. But those two key people, those are the people that need to be talking to Nigeria and telling us what this government is doing to be able to bring.
All right, Biko, let's talk about rice. The 40,000 naira price rice. How can people assess it and how sustainable is it? Some have said, I hope it's not going to be for party members alone or for civil servants. How can Nigerians assess this rice?
It is a good policy. I was speaking with the governor of Imo State recently, and I said, you guys, if you make this rice available rather than at cheap prices, rock bottom prices, rather than distributing it for free and it's not getting to the people, I would really appreciate it. And they said, yes, this is what we are thinking of doing. Because some people hijack it along the way and rebag. We've seen videos of people rebagging. We've even seen rice donated by federal government being rebagged by some states with the pictures of the governor and all that. All of this nonsense we do not need. Make this thing accessible. Sit down. Think of how best this can get to the poorest of the poor. All of these conditions are just too... So people who are hungry, some will drop dead before they are able to fulfill some of these conditions.
Okay, you're talking about the NIN, the ID card.
Yes.
There are two steps.
There are many of our people who do not even have... You're asking them to produce... no, not just NIN. Even the credit card and all that.
ATM card?
Yes, that's what I mean by credit card. A lot of people in our rural areas, they don't have it. Some don't even have phones. You know? Make it easier for them to be able to access it. That is why many people are saying, oh, they're talking about 40,000 naira rice. We've not even seen it. It's bad enough that it's 40,000 rice costing 40,000 naira is what we are talking about. Because some years back, it was just about 7,000.
Yeah, true.
But make it a lot easier for people to be able to access it. If you want to help, help in a very conducive way. Not to create all kinds of roadblocks, IMF conditionalities, just for people to be able to access a bag of rice. So I think that they must still find a way to
still cut down.
Yes, on some of these. The people, I don't understand if you create all of these log jams just so that people can access rice. At the end of the day, a lot of the people it is meant for won't be able to access it because the poorest of the poor don't even use
all of these documents.
Yes, you know. So what do you gain if the poorest of the poor cannot access it? Conditional cash transfer and other interventions are meant for the poorest amongst us, not the rich, not the comfortable. So those coming up with these policies, they need good advisors. They should not behave like head in the clouds kind of people.
So it should be reviewed.
Of course, these conditionalities are just too many.
Okay.
What we must concentrate on ensuring that it does not get to the wrong people.
Exactly.
But we must find a way to be able to get it across to those who need it the most.
CK,
in just 10 seconds, do you agree with BK?
Of course, I do. These IMF conditions that have been given doesn't make any sense. Are they assessing loan? Are they going for a loan? You're asking somebody to come and buy a 40,000 bag of rice. You say I should bring my national ID card. The next thing you ask me to bring my grandmother just because I need to get it. It doesn't make any sense. In fact, what I feel we should do is that let us try and flood the market with enough rice. Kebi can produce rice. Ebonyi can produce rice.
Okay.
So many places in Nigeria can produce rice, including Cross River State. Let us flood this. That's why I say the Minister of Agriculture should be talking now, for goodness. Who is even, what's his name? Do you know his name? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. And the president is talking about this. It's time he reshuffle this cabinet. Let us know those that we need to go and those that need to work. Please.
All right, let's go straight to